couple seconds. Hey there, true believers, and welcome to episode 2 of the Marvel Mondays Initiative. Today's topic is, of course, episode 2 of the Falcon and Winter Soldier, titled The Star-Spangled Man, or... I'm not even going to go into it. Let's just continue.
Go off, King.
Oh, man. So strap in. We got quite a show for you today. Before we get into it, if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to give us a like and subscribe to help support us and see more great content like our TV and movies-based podcast, The Cross Media Show, which we are currently talking about tomorrow. Will be the final episode of Attack on Titan, which
sorry, I've seen that you guys have the recordings. I haven't watched them yet.
Yeah,
I'm 2 episodes away from finishing the entire show.
Okay, okay, yeah. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna continue with that.
Yep. Anywho,
we also have a video game podcast called the Penultimate Conquest Podcast. Feel free to check that one out, and our anime-centric podcast, Anime Nation, hosted by Ryan. If you missed out on any of this week's content, which possibly impossible because today's the first piece of content we're doing this week, feel free to check out our VODs on our website, thepenultimateconquest.com, and you can even see the schedule for the rest of the month when I get to it. Well, today's the 29th, so like April 1st is when I'm going to get to doing the schedule, I swear. And that's not an April Fool's joke. I could promise you that. As usual, for those that don't know who I am, my name is Ruben. I am the director of the Penultimate Conquest. Today I have with me as my co-host the Mr. Movie Reviewer himself, Christian Macias. Christian, how are you doing today?
Happy unblocking of the Suez Canal Day, everyone.
Yeah.
Hope you're having a good one. Trade.
We also have a couple of guest hosts, as we usually do on the show. Our first guest this evening is 1/4 of the anime podcast, Baka and Co. Or is it Baka and Company? I'm not sure.
No, it's Baka and Co.
Okay,
yeah.
I just want to make sure. You might know him from the Kind of Funny community. Please welcome to the show, Frank Puglisi, aka.
Oh,
I got it right.
Oh, you got it right.
That's
on the
right.
nose.
That's right.
I get anything and everything from frickin' Snowbike Mike when they did the 20 minutes of reading donations for names. He just called me Pugsley. A lot of people do Puglusi. Like they just add vowels and consonants that don't even exist. Like you nailed it. So,
Thank you.
Round of applause to you.
We did it.
We did it.
Frankenfurter. Sorry. God damn it, Eric. You screwed me over. Frankfurter.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Happy to be here. Hope you guys are having a great day.
Oh, yes, we are. Our second guest is a father, a kind of funny best friend, a motion designer, an aspiring sneakerhead, and a gunpla enthusiast. Now, before I introduce who you are, I need to know what the hell is a gunpla?
Gunpla is basically just putting together Gundam, the little plastic kits.
Gotcha.
Some of them are pretty. Some of them people smash together and make bigger Gunpla kits, and others you can just snap them together. So,
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty easy.
All right, cool. Please welcome Travail.
Hey,
Travail, how you doing?
good. It's good to be here. Thank you for having me on.
Of course. Like I said, you're always welcome.
When are we going to go to Tokyo and go look at that big Gundam?
Oh my God, there's so many things that I would do in Japan right now. Tokyo, I would go to that hidden, not so hidden garage where all the tuners meet up, and go see the Evangelion museum thing that they got going on. Like,
Oh God.
yeah.
Is it a
Evangelion.
pop-up, is it a pop-up museum for Evangelion?
No, it's a solid thing. And then I think were they making like a Gundam or not a Gundam, an Eva theme park or something like that? I don't know. Either way,
that'd
they
be
have
nice.
statues everywhere of pretty awesome mechs.
Yeah.
My worry is that yeah, it might look like a Gundam, but like, what if that's their top secret army project and they're just planning to take over the world? I'm worried, guys.
I would welcome it.
Okay, all right, that's fair. That's
A
fair.
world
Yeah,
with
let
more
them-
mechs and just good food, everything,
Okay.
wonderful people. Just
Okay.
give it to me.
So, before we get into the plot synopsis, we have a tradition here that we ask each of our guests which their favorite Marvel movie and their favorite Marvel character are. We're gonna start with Frank. Frank, what do you have?
So Marvel movie, I'd have to say Guardians of the Galaxies, the first one.
Okay.
Definitely my favorite, just because of like, so to kind of give my background on Marvel and everything, kind of comics. Like I'm more of a casual ongoer than I am like the hardcore. I read comics every week, day to day, or whatever. Or I guess it would be month to month, but I like to me, I'd never heard of Guardians of the Galaxy before. I did a lot of research after the movie and everything and figured out what it was. But that movie was so out of left field for me that I was like, this is just the best thing since sliced bread. Like I need more of this. And to me, Guardians was just such a fun movie. It was nothing to me that Marvel had done with their universe quite yet. Like they hadn't made it as goofy or fun like they had for any of their other movies. So I decided like or that to me is my favorite movie. Favorite character on the other hand, I definitely have to go with Tom Holland Spider-Man. Like they've absolutely nailed Spider-Man with Tom Holland. Like I love Andrew Garfield. He did great. Tobey Maguire,
Did he
that's
though?
our childhood. I mean, he
Wow.
did fine. He did fine. Tobey Maguire was our childhood, whether you like it or not. Like it was. So, but like to us get Tom Holland like fill those shoes and like perform so well, like I think he's I mean the best one. But if I had to pick a backup, I would definitely say Doctor Strange because that was another movie to me that came out of like left field that I really enjoyed more than I ever thought I would. And just that character is a lot of fun and very intriguing.
Okay.
So.
Cool. Very well.
Solid picks.
Yeah, solid picks. Travail. Favorite Marvel movie and favorite Marvel character.
Man, based on my past listens of this podcast, you'll probably love or hate this one, which is Winter Soldier.
Okay.
I like it because it was a definite change of pace and tone in Marvel movies. Because I think it was just after that hump where a lot of people were kind of like, I don't really know if I could keep going on this path for like 10, 15 more years of like superheroes, yay, rah, rah, where it introduced some espionage, some serious stuff. Um, and yeah, I just enjoyed pretty much every minute of it. All the action sequences were probably some of the best in the entire set of Marvel movies. And also reminded me a lot of the Bourne trilogy or the Bourne set of movies. Because I think those, as far as like action sequences and fight sequences, are probably some of the best filmed ever. And then as far as characters go, this guy on my side of the camera, I don't know, I can't point that way. Black Panther is definitely up there because just I don't know, having futurism on display and a king, not just a billionaire playboy philanthropist American Boy Scout, the sort of run of the mill cookie cutter type superheroes. You have a king who's got his own country, a country that's been pillaged and all that kind of stuff, and it has a pretty awesome background. So, yeah, that's my
Okay.
answer.
Very good answers.
Black Panther was so fun to watch in theaters.
It really was.
Like I felt like
It
the
really
love of
was.
like, everyone in that theater when I went to go watch it.
It was a lot of fun.
That was the first movie date my girlfriend and I went on, and we've been dating for a little over 3 years now. So that movie will also hold a special heart in my place because that was such a good movie for that, but also like for that reason alone too.
Okay,
Definitely.
cool. I also have one more question I forgot to ask. Captain America or Iron Man? Where do you side? Where do you stand?
Like Civil War wise,
Civil War wise.
Captain America.
Okay.
Captain America for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Captain America.
Okay. Good.
That's right. That's right.
This is the right. That was a test. You both passed. Okay. Because if it was Iron Man, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to kick you off the show.
But like, he makes good points though.
He does make good points, and that's definitely. I'm not taking away from Iron Man. It's like you said. I think it was you, Christian, that said rewatching that movie. You have a different stance on it every time. I guess you
Yeah,
could have
that
a
was
different. Yeah. So, I see what you're saying, but most of the time I'm sticking with Cap. But
Sure.
yeah, of course.
It's like flavor of the day. What are you feeling today?
Exactly. So, we're going to get into the plot synopsis.
Before we do that, Ruben, I full disclosure for everyone here. I went to go look up Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 2 just so that I can get like some like information up about like directors and choreographers and stuff.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And the first thing that popped up on my Google search that I had already searched before was Falcon and Winter Soldier kissing. So that is where I'm at with the show.
Oh, no.
I would love more homoerotic themes present in it, and I hope we get more of that moving forward. Let's go. Let's do it.
Okay.
You know, I'm all for it.
Okay.
I
Let's
would
throw
say
some more
to say
love
that
into the
I would-
mix.
Sorry. Treville, let's go with you first, and then we'll go to Frank.
I was just saying, I'm all for it. Let's throw some more love into the mix, you know, because there's already
why not?
They have that chemistry already on screen, and I'm sure we'll get into it. But I very much enjoyed their banter back and forth, or I guess their initial arguments. But I'll leave it at that for now.
Okay. Frank?
Yeah, definitely a more solid episode than episode 1. Like episode 1 was a lot of world building and like time period. Like, hey, this is what's going on, and then this episode is like, okay, we're gonna jump into the plot of it. Like this is it. To me, it was a lot better than episode 1. Really enjoyed it, and we can get more into that later. But really enjoyed this a lot more than episode 1.
Okay.
Agreed.
Cool. Christian, do you have anything to add?
No, yeah, Frank's 100% right. This, oh my God, I was not expecting to love this show as much as I do. There's like, it is textually rich beyond any of my expectations. I love it.
Good. This episode, I had kind of seen it happening before it happened, if that makes sense. I thought there were places that this episode went that I kind of figured it would go, but then there were also places that this episode went where I was like, oh shit, okay, cool, all right.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the plot. John Walker appears on Good Morning America as Captain America, or Frank, what's your...
My story notes for this this entire episode, the new Captain America's name is Fuckface McGee.
Okay, so we're continuing with that. Fuckface McGee.
This is my cue to just jump in for a second.
Go ahead.
Because yes, I 100% agree with Frank. This guy's a piece of shit. However, that opening scene where he's like in the locker and like or in the locker room, and he's having a heart to heart with his buddy. I can see where he's at. Like I'm like the show wants me to empathize with him, and I can see what it's trying to do. And like I almost bought into it. I was like, fuck, maybe I kind of like agree with him. Like the job is tough. And then very quickly, yeah, he turns into a piece of shit. So yes, Fuckface McGee.
Christian, I see what you're saying, but like this guy is trying to take over as Captain America. Like he's not even a super soldier, bro. Like what are you doing?
We don't know that. Come on, we have like footage of him like throwing the shield, and like apparently the military has been grooming him for a while. Like I don't know. I feel like maybe there might be some super soldier serum in him.
I will say, and I just posted the photo in our kind of the podcast questions for here. He's very reminiscent to the old man from Up. looking when he has that mask on.
That's perfect.
Like he just does not look the part. Like it's like, oh no. Once you see it, you can't unsee
Unsee
it.
it.
Like he just looks like the old man from Up.
Yeah.
But
Is it the chin?
Yeah, it's the
yeah,
chin.
it's definitely the chin.
It's definitely
Yeah.
the chin.
His nose, his ears, like his entire face just is, I don't know. Maybe I would be nicer to this man if he wasn't the replacement of the quote unquote replacement of Captain America. Like, yeah, just everything about his face looks like the old man from Up.
Like I wanted to give him a chance, and like we'll get into it later, but like he just by the end of it just doesn't give you the chance. You're just like, no, I'm over this guy. Get him
Yeah.
out.
Yep.
It's I don't know if you guys have noticed, but like I'm a huge Captain America fan. Like, give me a second.
What?
Like, come on. Like, fucking come on, guys. Like,
Is that a Jonathan Walker shield?
That is a Johnny Walker
how
shield.
dare you, sir? How fucking
just
dare
kidding.
you? So, like, this guy pissed me off from the beginning. The minute we saw his face and this new Captain America outfit in episode 1, at the end of episode 1, I was like, no, it's not happening. I don't want this shit. Let's go. Get rid of him. Nobody asked for this.
You gotta get mad at the government, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm very upset with them. We're going to get into that real quick. So, John Walker appears on Good Morning America as Fuckface McGee, revealing his desire to live up to Steve Rogers' mantle. Now, Steve Rogers wanted one thing, and it was Sam taking up the mantle, because that's Bucky says it in the later in the episode, where like he just says Steve wanted you to live up to his I forgot the line. Fuck. It's basically Steve thought you were a specific person, and he wanted you to live up to being that specific person. So if you're not that person, like, what is Bucky? Which hit me real fucking hard. Like, I got really sad for a second, where I was like, fuck, I feel bad for Bucky. But
You're talking about the moment when they're with the therapist.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a very great moment.
yeah.
That was probably my favorite scene of this episode. Like I could not stop laughing
Yeah.
at all. It
Yeah.
was so funny.
And
And then it just hits you real hard, just like at that line. It's like, oh, okay.
yeah. I see Sam's side of it, where he doesn't realize. Guys, I'm all over the place with this episode. I'm sorry, but there's a lot.
I'm trying to look at where we're at.
There's a lot of feelings right now. Like,
It's like you want to just hop in and talk about the end, but you're like, okay, hold on, we got to do the recap real quick.
yeah, that's exactly what it is. And I'm gonna hold it off. And when we get there, we'll get there. Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes struggle to work together as Barnes expresses disapproval in Wilson's decision to surrender Rogers' shield. They travel to Munich and find the Flag Smashers smuggling medicine. Wilson identifies a possible hostage, who is revealed to be the group's leader, Carly Morgenthau. I'm pretty sure.
Yes,
that's her name.
perfect.
Okay, Morgenthau.
I don't know how you guys feel about this, but like I fucking love this, that the Flag Smashers are not this like supposedly like Antifa group that we thought was going to be in episode 1, but like probably like morally questionable, like kind of the good guys. They're like taking medicine to I think it was refugees or other or just like this like other community, which is like leads me to believe that maybe at some point Sam and Bucky might like quote unquote turn and like help the Flag Smashers, because right now it seems like the antagonist is the actual government and Walker, not the Flag Smashers.
Yeah,
Who are delivering medicine.
Yeah.
I had seen that where she's like, yeah, the GRC is focusing on the people that came back, but what about the people that were here this whole time? Like, we're just essentially getting fucked. Which
Absolutely.
I never really thought about. I figured that they would have lived on, but, you know, obviously I can't begin to fathom what a snap would do to a person. But yeah, it's a very interesting way to pivot quote unquote enemy. I do like that. Any
Yeah,
thoughts?
and one thing I do want to note is that I actually now like talking about it now again, me being me and like thinking like chess 10 moves ahead or something like that. I actually thought the medicine was like the stuff that makes people super soldiers because in
Oh.
one of the later scenes they said, "Oh shoot, they found us the power like they mentioned the power broker." And that's I'm like, okay, so that's who they got the medicine from or stole the medicine from or they stole the power from. So I was thinking, is it actually medicine or is it the actual
I
um
I thought the power
excuse
brokers
me.
were the ones that they're running away from. This
Right,
other group.
because they stole the medicine from them.
Oh
So
yes, you're right.
I was thinking, okay, is it actually medicine or is it like the power serum or whatever that makes them into super soldiers?
Well, to be
So
fair,
I
sorry
yeah.
to cut you off, but to be
No, I was gonna
fair,
say yeah. Go for it. Sorry.
the label I saw just said vaccines. I didn't see it say medicine. So you could be right.
It's Moderna.
Oh no.
I get my first one tomorrow, but
I
anywho.
was guessing Johnson and Johnson, but okay. Look like one shot.
Yeah.
You just see the Johnson and Johnson on the side of the truck.
Oh my god,
Right.
that'd be hilarious.
Oh boy.
But
I would have to say just a backstep or add a little bit to that group is like the idea when you see them in their hand to hand with the fugly Captain America and his buddy, and after that in the or was that before that in the safe house where they go and they get handed that questionable food that's in the containers and the dude's like, hey, we got bunk beds for you, and they seem super excited to be in a place that feels stable. That to me spoke pretty loudly because they very much seem like an underground grassroots type,
Yeah.
and also sort of the fear in Carly's eyes. Like she didn't know what she was walking into, whether it would be supporters or that group that they're running from is like surprise, and then they all get locked up. Especially having that kind of fear and also possibly being a super soldier. Like if I was a super soldier, I'd walk into any room, I'd be fine. You could jump me if you want. I'd take all five of you,
Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
But yeah, she seemed genuinely concerned for herself and her group, and I thought that spoke pretty loudly as far as that scene goes.
Yeah.
the old man that takes him in is like so nice and so nervous and just like I'll do anything for
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
He had
wife makes
coffee. He
soup.
had
Yeah.
food prepared in the
The
cute little
whole
Tupperware things,
nine.
and internet with
Mhm.
four different screens for them to cruise the internet and TikTok and all that stuff. It's fun.
That's exactly what they were doing. They were cruising TikTok. They were checking to see what's up to date on TikTok.
Definitely.
The Flag Smashers with enhanced abilities quickly overpower Barnes and Wilson until Walker and Lamar Hoskins come to their aid, though the Flag Smashers escape. Now, Christian, you had said that we don't know for sure that Fuckface McGee is not a super soldier. Is that correct?
I did say that, yes.
I feel like if he was a super soldier, he wouldn't really need Lamar to back him up. Like it feels like it's more of a Captain America duo than it is just one person.
I think that's there just to like show how antiquated that like racial hierarchy is, and like with Walker and oh my god, what's his name? Patriot something?
Battlestar, I think it was his name.
Battlestar, yes, thank you. Where like that, it just feels like he has that line where he wants like Sam, like, oh, like you're here to back me up, and like that's obviously not the case. That's not why Sam and Steve that dynamic worked. Yeah, that's the only reason I can
Okay.
think of.
Okay. Do we have anything else to say about this fight, which was pretty funny?
I labeled the scene tag team wrestling on top of trucks because that's essentially what it was.
Yep.
But no, it was well choreographed. I really enjoyed it. One of the better fight scenes of the entire episode. So yeah, no, it was good.
Okay.
I'd agree with that. As far as it actually felt like there were not like necessarily that there were stakes involved because you didn't really know it was like in the truck, other than somebody who was kidnapped, I guess. But a lot of I think what's been really cool to see is Sam having acrobatics when it comes to like jumping off of something and flipping, and then his little wings like pop out and he goes flying. And then what was really awesome was seeing Bucky use his arm basically to like hold on for dear life. And again, that banter and that chemistry between those two.
Yes.
Even in that scene when Bucky's hanging underneath the truck and Sam's just like flying and joking, and it felt so good. I don't know, their chemistry feels so good.
Yes. it
Yeah,
does.
I feel like because they've been in like a movie or two together. I mean, even at least on set with each other, like they have that kind of built up already mentality of like, hey, we've been through this. Like we can do this easy for a TV show. But the
Mhm.
one other call out I forgot to say about this scene was it was so freaking awesome. Like, this is the one positive I will say about Captain America. When he threw his shield to save his buddy on like the concrete,
Yeah,
that was awesome. That was pretty freaking cool.
that was pretty badass.
And the cheesy smile on his buddy's face, he was just like, "Thanks, dude." Like
It was
Captain
cheesy,
that part made me
America.
laugh so hard because it was just such cheese, but it was great. I agree.
My only problem with that was like you were screwed. The moment you threw your shield, you were screwed. There was no way that you were finishing that fight and winning. But-
Right.
That's kind of a Captain America thing to do.
Yeah, but Steve Rogers would have been able to take out at least a couple guys. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Christian, do you have
I do want to. Yeah, I want to add one quick thing to. For me, like what the MCU does so well is show off these character moments, and what I've enjoyed so much about these TV series is that we're getting like deep dives into like character studies.
Okay.
For what this fight scene did was like translate the chemistry that Bucky and Sam have and the dichotomy between like the new Captain America, and then showing that in the action and the ways that like they didn't want to help each other out, but the way they had to do it. And that was fun for me. And that was what made the fight scene so exciting.
Okay. Cool. Checking to see where I am at. Walker and Hoskins requests Barnes and Wilson join them in aiding the global repatriation council GRC to squash the ongoing violent post-blip revolutions, but they refuse. Which, come on, I would also refuse. Like, nobody wants to work with these two.
Yeah. That sounded kind of
Mhm.
icky.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
To put I have small children, so I probably will use like very small words in this podcast. But yeah, like the global repatriation initiative, like, are we colonialists now? Are we like making sure that we round up all the bad actors and all this other stuff? Like, it was gross.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the TRC in Africa,
Right.
Truth and Reconciliation Committee.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Morgenthau receives a threatening text from an unknown number. Oh, I wonder who it could be.
What was the text on there? I can't remember. Sorry.
Let me double check. Let me see if I could pull it up. Hold on.
I know that doesn't make for good podcasting to make you.
No,
have
that's
to look
okay.
up
That's okay.
Well, while he looks that up,
Yeah.
have we already gone past the scene where they're in? Like, we're talking about when they're in the Jeep, correct? Like when they're in the Jeep trying to like drive.
Well,
20 miles.
that was before. That
Okay,
last
so
sentence.
the one thing that really stuck out to me on this scene is that, and this is where I think everybody has their like everybody that's already been an Avenger, pre new Cap, has a problem with Cap is the fact that Falcon points out like he's like, yeah, that's the problem though, is the quote by my side. Like, this is a new Captain America, and if they want to, like, if Captain America wants them quote by his side, they need to like build rapport, they need to build trust, they need to make sure that like they need to get to know one another like these other characters have already done, which they haven't. I mean, he just kind of came in. He's like, "I'm Captain America. I can do no wrong. Oh, you're gonna follow me. You're gonna do this. You're gonna be by my side." It's like, no, 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 no. You're the newbie. You haven't proven yourself yet. Like, do something with us first. Help us out and stop being a jackwagon, and then we maybe talk about that. But yeah, I mean, Steve just had that kind of like commanding power that by my side wasn't terrible, but like this new guy is just like, no, 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 this is not good at all.
Yeah, it's kind of like what you said. Like you're the new guy. You should be following my lead because I know what I'm doing, and you just got. This is your first day on the job, essentially. Like,
Right.
come the fuck down, bro. I'm sorry.
And I don't think
Yeah.
in all of MCU history I have want to hit somebody so hard
Yeah,
in a scene. Like when he said that and when he that little smug look on his face, I was like, "Oh, dude."
Well,
Like
for me,
there's going to be an awesome throwdown in this, or should be an awesome throwdown in this series between the two duos, and yeah, I can't wait until that happens.
you
I
see,
think it'll be like a reverse Iron Man, like Bucky and Captain America fight scene. Like, oh man, I cannot wait.
Frank, we're on the same wavelength here. I'm really hoping that's what it is.
did you guys see that the actor who plays John Walker originally auditioned for the role of Captain America?
No,
Oh no, I did not see that.
That was
Oh,
like,
that's funny. I
just
could not imagine him
there.
as Captain America for
Not at
like
all.
the entire no, nah, mm-mm.
and now everyone hates him.
Yeah. Okay. So I got the text. It says, "You took what was mine. I'm going to find you and kill you."
yeah.
Which, I don't know. Who could it be? Any thoughts?
So
This is the message Carly got, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
my first thought was Zemo, but then there was that other group that they talked about running from, that I can't remember off the top of my head right now.
I believe it was
But
Power Breakers.
Charlie
yeah,
Brooker.
Power Burger. Yeah, there you go.
so I mean that could be it. And then Zemo shows up later, but yeah.
Yeah. It's a very weird text. Like, first off, how the hell did you get my number? I'm on the run and you found my burner phone number. Like, I should be very careful what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't know. I that was a very weird scene for me. Oh shit, hold on.
I don't even remember the text, to be honest. I was probably writing.
Yeah,
some
it
notes.
was that mundane that I completely forgot about what that was. What was happening? Yeah, it was.
This happens in the room, correct? When
Yes.
yeah.
I thought
Okay.
this was on the runway. I thought they were on the runway, like escaping with the medicine.
No, this was when she gets into the house that the guy is like, "Oh, here you go. I got some
Oh,
food."
you're
Yeah,
right. You're
yeah.
right. You're right. You're right.
Once she gets into her room that she's going to be sleeping in, I guess that's what happens.
And that for me made it click when I was like, oh, okay, that's why she seemed pretty like sketch about the whole Airbnb for
Yeah. Supervillains.
revolutionaries type thing.
hmm
Let me continue with this. Traveling to Baltimore, Barnes introduces Barnes introduces Barnes introduces Wilson to Isaiah Bradley, a veteran super soldier who fought Barnes in the Korean War, which fucking mind blown. This whole interaction, I was like, holy shit, they're still fucking doing this to people? That's crazy. I just assumed that Cap was the one and only, you know? I don't know why I assumed that, but that's what was projected to us, that Cap was the only super soldier that the USA had. Anybody have any thoughts on this? I know this was a bit of a stressor for this episode, I guess. Christian.
Oh, going straight to me. Yeah. No, I saw online And I had remembered like a little bit about it in history class, but I think the supposed callback here to like real life is the government tests that they did on the black community, injecting them with like syphilis, which I think is supposed to be the parallel here to what they're doing in the MCU. But it's very fucked in the context of the MCU for us to have a black Captain America that was never like shown to the public, and then very like quickly like hushed and like forced, and like there's no kind of repatriation, I guess, for him. He's just like in this like a neighborhood that isn't the greatest, and he doesn't seem to be getting any kind of care. So it's extremely shitty.
Trivial?
Yeah, like
Oh, sorry. Free. Give me a second.
oh no, that's fine. If it's fine.
Okay.
That also made me think a lot about the one of my favorite groups that I just learned about. Well, not just learned about a couple of years ago when what is the counterpart to Call of Duty as far as the shooters go?
Battlefield.
Medal of Honor?
Battlefield, yes.
Oh.
So when Battlefield came out with their different storylines of World War One and the Harlem Hellfighters, that it reminded me very much of that, because as far as the Harlem Hellfighters go, for anybody that doesn't know, it was basically an all-black regiment in the army. The U.S. Army did not want them, and so they shipped them over to France. And the French trained them up, put them on the battlefield, and they became some of the most feared combatants on the battlefield. Like even the Germans had like the highest respect for them and actually nicknamed them the Harlem Hellfighters, or the Hellfighters. Sorry. And so this kind of felt like that, where Isaiah was essentially given these tools to be able to fight a war, but then was shelved and was also sort of a pariah in his own homeland, the homeland that he was fighting for. Which, I mean, that the history of people of color, marginalized people fighting for the United States and not getting their due until decades later is long. But yeah.
Yeah. Frank?
Yeah. The one thing that I want to go back to was the neighborhood part. Like that whole like it, so to begin with, and it was one of those things that I noticed randomly in the background, is that there are like homeless camps everywhere in the background. Like it's not just like this isn't like the best of neighborhoods. Like this is like the worst of the worst. Like, and he like has been long forgotten, and it's fucked up. Is what it is. Like that's putting it nicely. I hope. I actually really hope that it plays out kind of like that this guy like Isaiah comes back in a way in which he does get some spotlight, he does get his moment, and he does kind of, I mean, to me, perfect Falcon Winter Soldier ending. Fucking Isaiah comes out of nowhere, kicks the shit out of fucking new Captain America and gives the shield back to Falcon. Like perfect ending right there. But no, I really hope that he gets his moment, because like it's just fucked up what his country has done to him. So yeah. But overall, like it's just really interesting to see, and like just what kind of like the government in the MCU, like how bad it's gotten, especially post blip. You would think that like post blip they would be trying to help everybody and like recruit anybody who could help out. But I mean, I guess Isaiah is pretty dang old, so maybe they would think like, oh, he's too old to help, but he still got it. He fucking threw that tin can through the freaking wall like it was nothing.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm hoping to see more of Isaiah later on in the season. So
Same
I
here.
hope he gets his due.
Same here. Christian, you had something else?
Yeah, that was his grandson that opened the door. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Did you guys see there was like some scuttlebutt online about supposedly like the super soldier serum from Isaiah had genetically passed on to his grandson, and they're setting his grandson up to be like in a supposed like young Avengers, similar to like
Yeah.
Rambo, how Rambo got powers and Wanda.
I had only like very like surface level saw that this show might be the setup for Young Avengers. I didn't really read too much into it because I didn't. But yeah, I saw that, and now that you say that, like that makes perfect sense. Like he would be the perfect character to like start that up or help out.
I think that'd be so cool.
Huh.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That would
Be
be
pretty
pretty
dope.
cool. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh man, I'm excited. Bradley refuses to help them uncover information about additional super soldier serums due to being imprisoned and experimented on by the U.S. government and Hydra for 30 years. Jesus. As the two argue over him keeping the existence of an African American super soldier a secret, Barnes is arrested for missing a therapy appointment. Which are like, come on.
Dude, Travell, this is who I wanted to punch in the face. This fucking cop
Oh
who
my
like
God.
racially profiled Sam, and then like props to the showrunners for like not just like portraying the cop, but also Bucky, who like is also like susceptible to that ignorance. He doesn't like understand like what Sam has to go through. He says to
Yeah.
Sam like, "Oh no, just hand him your ID," and it's like, "No, dude, like
For what?
you don't have to at all. For what? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly."
Yeah. Which was
That whole scene I thought was great.
Now, if I recall correctly, Bucky had his like the arm sleeve ripped off of his jacket. Am I wrong? No. Okay. All right. That makes more
I don't
sense.
think
I think so in that
I
scene.
know.
It
I know
wasn't-
he rips.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I know he rips it off for the like jumping out of the plane scene. But
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
about it.
Okay. All right.
Maybe he just travels with like 5 or 6 jackets,
Listen.
and it's just like
That jacket looks fucking great. Okay.
it's dope.
he's got like a perforated sleeve. It's just
Yeah.
like really easy.
And it was clean off too. Like, and that wasn't even his metal arm, which was
That's probably what he was doing. He was doing cameo, getting $50 here and there to
Yeah.
rip off a sleeve at parties, and everybody loved it. You know.
probably.
But as far as that scene goes, man, so many layers there. As far as like when they first left the house, and Sam was like, "Dude, like, you didn't tell your best friend about that there was another one like him. Like that could have you could have helped so many people." And Bucky saying what I thought. Going back to the whole like well-meaning people who accidentally do something bad to marginalized people. He's like, oh yeah, I mean, like the government had treated him like shit for so long. I didn't think he wanted to be hurt anymore, and so this is me paraphrasing, and so I just kind of like let him stay in the dark, basically,
Yeah.
or let him fade away into anonymity. And that was one of those things where it's like heartbreaking. It's like, okay, I understand that you had a good heart, Bucky, but at the same time, like the world would have been helped a lot more if you would have like stood out and said, hey, this is what happened. Like imagine what Black Panther would have actually looked like if there was another black superhero well before that
Yeah.
that had popped up besides Sam, like so. And then the whole thing with the cops showing up. Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where, like, honestly, I don't know. I thought it was good that the MCU introduced this. I think that as far as this one scenario about the cop stopping him, I've kind of seen that in a few other shows in the past year. And so it felt a little bit more like low-hanging fruit than something like I think the whole Isaiah thing was genius. But then like the cop thing kind of felt like one or the other idea came before the other. And they were just like, well, we're here in this neighborhood. Let's just put this together right now. And so I didn't love that scene as far as like portraying, further putting an extra nail in that coffin of racism and systematic oppression and things like that. But I mean, I could be wrong. I'm often wrong as far as opinions go on these things, but
No, I mean I get what you're saying. I could see both sides of it. I think it was, I guess, good how they turned it on its head, if that makes sense. Where the cop was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, we're gonna take you in, Mr. Barnes." But yeah, I see what you're saying. It didn't have to happen, but it happened. Yeah.
They probably could have thought of a better transition into group therapy, but like
Yeah.
this is what they stuck
group
with.
therapy. Can we get to that part yet?
I'm right there. I am
so
right there.
ready.
I'm right
I'm
there.
so
Next
ready.
scene, yeah.
Yeah, next
yeah,
scene.
yeah.
Barnes is released on bail after Walker and Hoskins intervene, though he and Wilson are first forced to take a therapy session with Barnes' therapist. And you said group therapy. It's not really group if it's two, so this is couples therapy. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, I meant to say couples. I even have it in my notes. It says couples therapy.
And honestly, I was hoping that this whole show at least had, well, each episode at least had a couples therapy session just to like go over what they've gone through, like each episode, if that makes kind of sense. I
Yeah.
just, this was really great. I love this. Christian, do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, I wrote my notes. My first thing is homoerotic undertones, baby. Let's go. Because it was great. I mean, it works on two levels. Because one, you're getting the comedy aspect that we like know and love from the MCU. Because those two, again, I've said it time and time again. Like that chemistry is like unreal. It's so good. But then, as Ruben pointed out, we get that like poignant scene where Bucky's like actually opens up and he says, if Cap was wrong about you, then maybe he was wrong about me. And it when it hits hard. So what a great scene.
Yeah. Travell?
Oh man.
Thoughts?
Again, so many levels. As a person who I'll just be for has recently started going to therapy as of like October, the end of October. When she was like, "All right, you two need to sit next to each other and look each other in the eye and talk." That was one of those things where my therapist was just like, "You know what? You and your wife, if you guys need to sit and talk and look each other in the eye and hash some stuff out." And that was one of those things where I was just like, oh man, like having to review over one person's shitty behavior and how the other person also had shitty behavior and like trying to get over that, and also getting over just feeling shitty yourself, I guess sometimes, with Bucky and like his fears and stuff like that. So when he talked about Cap possibly seeing him as, or he felt like he was worthless without Cap in some ways, and that hit real hard, as Frank was saying. But yeah, that's my thoughts.
Okay. Frank, anything you wanted to add?
So my three notes for this were couples therapy, soul gazing laughs, because my God, when they first start the quote soul gazing, they everything has to be a competition. Everything. So they go into the the blinking contest. Like to me, that is just like, you children, settle down. Please, for the love of God, settle down. And then the last note was like the truth. Bucky wants his friend to be right. Like he doesn't want to have doubt in this guy who is so well revered, not just in his eyes, but everybody's eyes. So if he's wrong about the next Captain America who should take up his mantle, maybe he's been wrong about him the entire time. So like, not to bring up anime, but like this is like totally something straight out of like Gurren Lagann, like believe in the me that believes in you. Like believe in the Kamina that believes in you. Like I don't know if any of y'all have seen Gurren Lagann. If not, fantastic show, really campy. It's fantastic. Yes, God damn it, I love it. But like it's very like it's a light-hearted, fun scene. You're like, oh, we're in couples therapy. It's two men. They're getting really close. Their like legs are interlocked with each other. Their like knees are nearly touching each other's junk. Like it goes from really funny and hearty, like a light-hearted scene, to this just like, oh shit, the real truth comes out. Like, but yeah, no, I this to me was the best scene of the episode because it gave such insight and thought process as to why people are like, why at least Bucky is doing everything he's doing.
Yeah. Christian.
Yeah, I have one more thing to add because Frank brings up a lot of good points. I think I almost forgot to mention Sam when he brings up basically what is his imposter syndrome for why he didn't want to take on the mantle as Captain America. And that to me just reinforces why he should be the one to be the new Captain America versus like this gung-ho asshole Jonathan Walker dude who like it seems like he's gonna break. Like I mean, in the next scene when he comes in with that beard and just like, dude, this guy is not looking good. He's just like taunting himself around. I don't like that difference is tells me everything about where Sam is and where Walker is.
Yeah.
Real quick, one last note on that,
Go
because
ahead.
this kind of goes back to a question you asked me in the beginning. Team Captain, Team Iron Man. Right now, the new Captain America is more so Team Iron Man because he is Mr. Government. He is, I am hired by the government. I work for the government. And Captain America was not that at all. It was like, no. Like, we need our freedom. We need to do what we need to do.
Yeah.
Not like be told what to do.
Correct. I got a couple more lines here, and then we'll get into some other stuff. Let's see. Walker and Hoskins again asked Barnes and Wilson to work with them, but they refused once again. Disgruntled, Walker warns the duo to stay out of their way, which, again, you're the new kid on the block. Don't threaten the guys that have gone through some shit together.
Right.
Like, oh, God, I just wanted to punch him in the face, but I'm going to... Christian,
Yeah. Yes. What
anything you want to talk about this here?
about Walker? Yeah, because I wrote down 2 notes here.
Okay.
Because I wrote down and they go together. So one is Captain America, the establishment / government organization skeptic, was king shit. I think we can all agree there. Captain America, the arrogant cop boy, is fucking lame. And those are my notes there.
Okay. Travail, anything you want to add here?
So many notes. One, having just recently fallen in love with The Boys on Amazon Prime, when he was messing around, that silly little smile that I want to smack off his little face, when he was messing with the siren and the lights,
Yeah.
he's like, "Hey guys," like all playful, and I was just like, "Oh, dude,
Read the room.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just being in a police station too was also another one of those things where I was just like, is Sam going to get like, I don't know, get harassed on his way out of the police station? That was another one of those weird sort of itches in the back of my brain. And then going back to what Frank was talking about as far as like Iron Man versus Captain America is like, one of those lines that they paraded throughout the trailers before the movie premiered was basically Iron Man telling Captain America to like join up or get out of the way. And that was literally what he said. Eventually, once he tried playing the good guy, and handing out the olive branch with thorns on it. And he was just like, we'll be cool as long as you play with me. And that was kind of, I think that was like the last line he said before he walked away.
Yeah.
And that to me was just like that. If we already didn't hate him before, that was the writers like throwing in that one last line for us to be like, all right, there's no redeeming quality in this man. It's time to smash his face.
Yeah. Frank, any thoughts on this?
2 notes. 1, great. Fuckface McGee is back, and 2, a threat from Fuckface McGee. So, like this, I really just don't like this guy. Like from not only like you could, okay, I understand you can look a certain way. It is you're born with a face, but man, he is born with a punchable face.
Yep.
Like holy crap.
bad.
But yeah, just like I will give the actor kudos and credits. Like he nails the character he's supposed to be. He does such a good job at being such an asshole of a Captain America. And I like props to him, but fuck his character.
I feel bad for him for whatever next role he's gonna try to get.
Okay, real quick, I'll pose the question: do you feel bad for him for the next role he gets, or do you feel worse for Joffrey for the next role that Joffrey gets from the Game of Thrones?
Oh man, I feel like people have already forgotten about Joffrey.
Oh
Is he
man,
still
you
acting?
never forget. I don't know. Probably.
Probably. I wouldn't doubt it. I would say I feel bad for Joffrey though. Like Joffrey was a real dick. Like
Wow,
Man,
this
the
he
dude
was
worst of the
good.
worst.
He was good.
He was
Like,
good. Yeah, definitely.
I
week
think
in,
when
week
you
out,
had
you want to
Bolton,
kill
though.
that kid.
What was that, Travell?
So, finishing the series, you had Bolton that shows up and creates Reek essentially, and is like a rapist and six dogs on people. Like
Oh, yeah.
Joffrey, I feel like Joffrey, if he would have saw half the things that Bolton did, Ramsay did, he would have thrown up. He would have like
He would
hid
have had
somewhere,
he would have had a
you
hissy
know.
fit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Whereas Ramsey was born in that nonsense. Like, dude was messed up from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You know,
anyway, sorry.
That's okay.
He's done one more thing after Game of Thrones,
What
which
was
is a BBC show called Out of Her Mind.
Okay.
I haven't seen it.
I don't know that one either.
So,
I guess.
And if you
moral
wanna
of the story. Oh, go for it.
if you want to see a picture of him, I sent it into the general text channel. And I am very curious to hear what this moral of the story is from Frank.
Moral of the story: fuck the new Captain America. Also, oh my
Yes.
god.
That's the first picture that comes up in Google, by the way.
Oh god,
What?
that's not flattering.
Wait. Is it the shitty one with this grin?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
which one is the shit?
Nah, there's no way that's his face.
Which one is that?
There's no way that's his face.
Let's make
Like,
Joffrey Captain America.
They had to
no.
have done something to that. Oh no, that's his face. Oh no. Poor guy.
There we
The
go.
poor man.
Poor guy.
ooh,
Anywho.
What are you gonna do? Oh boy. I feel bad for the guy. Yes, anywho. Let's get back into that. Hold on. I got one line left, guys, and then we can get into theories. The Flag Smashers escape by airplane while one member buys them time, fighting the Power Broker's minions. Wilson suggests they visit an imprisoned Zemo in Berlin to gather intelligence on the Flag Smashers. This guy didn't need to stay behind. Like, he could have just knocked down that telephone pole and just jumped onto the blade.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you didn't need to stay behind. You stopped them in the tracks. Like, that's all you needed to do. But
I think that was one of those, since we didn't get to see that team work too much together. I mean, they had like the street fight in the first episode, and then the truck fight, and then them hanging out at that place where they said "one world, one skin" or whatever they said.
yeah.
Yeah, that was just the writers like solidifying like these guys are a team. They're willing to die for each other. That kind of corny trope, but I don't know.
Yeah.
You could be a super soldier all you want, but like bullets, nothing stops bullets. The guys, like, he didn't even get a chance to throw a punch. He just
Right?
ran into the gunfire like an idiot. I don't know.
I have a note for this.
Frank, go
I have
ahead.
my note is super soldiers, not immune to bullets.
Yeah.
Use bullets.
Exactly. That's pretty much it. Use bullets. Oh boy. Anybody want to add anything else to the episode before we close out this segment of the show? Travell?
I'm much more excited after this episode to see the development of Carly and specifically her. Like her group, I'm curious to see what other people bring to the table in her group. But at the same time, like she seems like they're definitely giving her more. I don't know if they're going to groom her for other roles, or not other roles, but other movies later down the line. But yeah, I would love to see more of Carly and see what she's got going under the hood, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, that sounded kind of gross. I
It sounded
apologize.
dirty.
I
Yeah,
mean,
no.
as far as like her, you get to see her like
What her character
mental,
grows
like,
into.
yeah, and
Yeah.
she has a definite love for her group of dudes, and obviously can kick ass. So yeah, just looking forward to that.
Okay. Frank, anything you wanted to add?
Did we miss like the very, very, very last bit of the episode with like them going to the loony bin?
Yeah, there was that part.
Because I was gonna say, I was like, wait, we didn't talk about the last two notes that I had, which is buddy cop comedy coming up, and then to the loony bin we go.
What do you mean?
Because like right,
If I recall correctly, I just see them saying, "Hey, we gotta go see Zemo in
oh,
Berlin."
okay, sorry, I missed you saying that then. Apparently, yeah, no, as I said at the top of the episode, like this episode was much better than episode one. This was a lot more, hey, this is what the plot's gonna be. Let's just jump on into it. Um, I like to see where some of these characters are going. Like again, Carly, I think is going to be a pivotal character in the plot, not only for her group but for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I do see them like teaming up a little bit, and then maybe by the end of it, like one of those like, hey, let's do a ceasefire, figure this shit out together, and then at the end of it, like we can duke it out, or like we'll go on our merry ways and we'll just be chasing you like forever, like Lupin the Third or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, I I do like I'm interested to see Carly's character. I do really want to see Isaiah like get some justice. Like I really do. Like his character to me really stood out a lot. So I really hope that they do something there other than just kind of just showing him off and then just like leaving him in the darkness. Like that's I there's no way they don't bring him back in some sort of capacity. Uh, Other than that, again, you said you nailed it. Like the chemistry between Falcon and Winter Soldier and Bucky is just oh, it's so good. It is so dang good, and I cannot look like because most of the like clips for like the trailer for the show have already been shown off in these first two episodes. Some like all the comedy bits and everything like
Yep.
that they've shown have already passed. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the comedy bits that they have lined up for the rest of it, as well as just kind of just the general plot of the show. So
Okay.
that's where I'm at.
Cool. Christian, anything you wanted to add?
Yes, I agree with Frank and Travail 100%. This show is like super fascinating. And for me, this is what Travail said as well is with Carly, her being this like morally ambiguous antagonist like, has its hooks in me. Like she's like set to be like one of my favorite MCU villains. And then a note on Zemo that I have is that I love that the MCU takes its villains from its previous films and it reintroduces them in hopefully like unique and interesting ways. I think that Zemo might have to help out a little bit with Sam and Bucky, and then like that's going to be exciting to watch. And then my last note is that Bucky reading The Hobbit in 1937
Yeah.
is very nerdy, and we stan our nerdy boys.
That we do. That we do.
Yeah,
I
that big
forgot about
three
that
joke.
part.
Go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that part. That part, and also one last note about jokes. When he calls Bucky the White Panther, and
Oh,
Bucky
yeah.
gets super defensive, he was like,
It's actually
"No,
White Fang.
it's called the White Wolf."
Oh yeah, White Wolf. Yeah, fuck. I fucked that up too. Jesus.
Oh, I laughed so hard. But anyway,
Yeah, I forgot that we didn't even bring up the joke, the reoccurring joke of the episode, which was the big three: the androids, aliens,
This
and
is true.
wizards.
This is true.
And it's like wizards don't exist. And then he's like, "Well, what about Doctor Strange? He's a warlock. He doesn't have a hat."
Yeah. Oh man.
Like, man, that got to me as like a D&D like player. Like that got to me. That was good.
That was really good. The comedy between the two, just like the overall relationship, like we've said this past episode, these two are, as much as they hate to admit it, they're best friends. Like, come on. There's
Yeah.
no way that you're telling me you guys don't hang out on the weekends and just have a beer, you know? Like,
I want a rom-com with the two.
yeah, I would love that. I would also like, well, I guess this is kind of like Lethal Weapon. Kind of, sort of, not really. I would like just a Lethal Weapon movie with these two.
Yeah, that was like my second to last note. Buddy comedy or buddy cop comedy coming up. Like that's
Yeah.
what this show's looking like, and I'm all for it. I'm here for it.
Exactly.
But yeah, no. I also last note, I guess, or shit, I actually lost it. So never mind.
Okay. Well, now it's time that we talk about some theories, guys. What do we think is going to happen with this show? What do we think is going to happen in the future of the MCU? What do we think is going to happen in general? I don't know if you guys have seen this. I'm going to just merely glance over at Christian. I might have some writing credits for Spider-Man 3, but I can't confirm this. I can't confirm this. I might have some writing credits, but we'll see. We'll see if John Watts is a real man. That's all I gotta say. Do you guys have anything you want to add? Any theories you want to introduce, Frank?
I feel like I've kind of gone through what I hope the show will go. I hope that Carly will come back to a bigger, play a bigger role in the whole show, and they won't like hopefully kill her off quickly.
Okay.
I hope that she does become one of those like temporary allies, and then at the end, like, okay, are you our friend? Are you going to join us? Do you see it from our point of view, or are you still, hey, pre-blip, let's viva la revolution? Like,
Mhm.
so I really hope that it is one of those things that like by the end of the episode, she's just kind of like they go their separate ways without them bringing her in, just because like, hey, you helped us out, we'll help you out by not like totally screwing you over and bringing you in. Like, just go live a better life. As for the Young Avengers kind of piece, I don't know too much about Young Avengers in order to give really a good educated opinion or guess there. But
Okay.
it'd be really freaking cool to see something like that, especially be that be the next Avengers movie. That would be pretty freaking rad. And then the last one again, Isaiah, fucking come back, give Falcon the shield at the very end, be like, no, you are what I never was. You are the new Captain America.
Damn.
Like that's what I want. That's what I want right there.
That'd be pretty dope.
That-
Oh, man.
I have a question here.
Yes.
Do we think Walker is going to be redeemed in some way? Like,
Hell no.
No.
yeah.
Fuck
I've-
that man.
I think Walker is probably going to give up the shield, and he's going to be like, I can't be the man that Steve was. I can't be I can't be the poster boy for the USA, because if the current way that he's acting is definitely not the poster boy
Yeah.
of what the USA wants. It's the poster boy of what the USA is, if that makes sense. Travail, any theories?
Jumping off that theory, I think as opposed to like killing off Walker or anything like that, yeah, he will step down, but I think it might be one of those things where he gets caught being a little shady, or cutting corners, and then, in true government fashion, they'll be like, yeah, we just can't have you in the spotlight, and just kind of he'll go away until he's used at some point. Because yeah, as maybe Christian pointed out, the MCU likes revisiting its past baddies. Specifically, the guy that was in the plane that was fighting
Sam.
Bucky, I think. He was the UFC star. He was in Winter Soldier. He got beat up in the first like 5 minutes of Winter Soldier, and they brought him back. It was pretty cool. And I kind of, sort of, bridging that into Carly, and my hopes for Carly is that essentially they let her go do her thing and sort of be a freelancer. But yeah, like a sometimes ally type thing. Because as far as Marvel in general, the thing that I've always loved about a lot of the Marvel villains is that, yeah, sure, you have like an obvious baddie, a person who's irredeemable, a person who's been bad from to their core, but then you also have somebody who's like a Magneto, who wants good for his people and is willing to do whatever for his people. And even if that means like making a big old asteroid, something like that. Like maybe Carly isn't that level, definitely isn't that level of power, but yeah, for her to have her own agency in the whole thing and not just be enveloped into the whole Shields, after Shields, Avengers loop, but to be out there as like, you know, a lone wolf in some ways.
Can I pose you a question?
Go ahead.
Can I pose you a question here?
Yes.
Do you think Marvel's more than likely go down one of these two routes with Walker? Because I didn't get to touch on him, so instead of me talking about it, I'm going to pose you to everybody a question. Will they kill him off in which he's like, oh shit, I've done a bad thing, I'm going to go self-sacrifice myself trope? Or he steps down or is fired because of some morally ambiguous bullshit that he does, and then he comes back and becomes the villain of a mainstay movie, say Young Avengers.
Oh fuck, that's really.
I think the
question.
second one would be way more interesting.
Yeah.
Because if they're like, yo, hey, you're kind of a shithead, turn in your badge and your gun type deal, and then he's just all hurt and goes with his friend who we've totally glazed over because he hasn't had any role. Battlestar, I think was his name. He and Battlestar sort of like drift off into the ether, and then eventually get picked up by, I don't know, New Hydra slash Zemo or somebody else. That would be super cool. That was actually a good thought. I like that.
Can we assume that Zemo is going to be released? Not released, probably broken. He breaks out of jail.
No, I think he goes to help out the two, Bucky and Sam.
Okay.
I think, yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's gonna be like a Silence of the Lambs type of deal where he's behind the cage, giving him hints to find the bad guys.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Frank, to answer your question, I think, I hope that it's option 2, but it's probably going to be option 1.
No, it won't be. There's no way. It can't be.
Listen, sir.
I'm on the side of Christian.
That is so antithetical to everything the show is like trying to do with its like all of its undertones. It just does not fit. There's no way.
But here's the thing: they've already done it. They've already done it with the bad guy super soldier who's like, I'm gonna push over this light pole and I'm gonna stand here instead of running towards the plane because I have super speed. Like I can totally see them going with option 1.
I see it too, but I think Marvel's evolved from that type of thinking where, like, Kevin Feige has planned out what we hope the next 20 years of MCU movies and content. So I think, while I could see option 1 happening, I'm flip-flopping here. I'm going to go with option 2 cuz like I'm sure he's got plans for him in the future.
Yeah, I usually with my podcast, I play devil's advocate, and I always go with the other one. I totally can see option 2 happening. I honestly think that option 2 will happen. I will stand with option 1 just because, like, I do think that they have learned from previous, like, not necessarily previous movies, but just movies in general and how to like keep a continuous train rolling. I still think that this could be like this story is going to be open shut. One, you're not going to get a season 2 per se, because I think that this movie serves as a point to lead to another, or this show leads to another movie. So I think this is going to be a clear, like, beginning end, and whatever character we aren't going to use for the future, we're just going to get rid of. And like I can totally see them using Walker in the future, but at the same time I could totally see them just dumping him here and calling it a day. So, especially because of the fact that he went after you guys said he went after Captain America's spot at the beginning, when they first started this. So I could see him being like, "Hey, we're going to give you the role, but it's not the role that you think it is, and it's just going to end there."
Yeah.
So,
Listen, Frank, if Walker is redeemed and Carly isn't, I will fucking riot.
I'll be right next to you.
And by that I mean I'll send like one tweet that'll get like 2 likes.
I will be right next to you. Yeah, no, I'd riot if that happens.
So the reason why I had asked about Zemo being either released or he breaks out of prison is because I can see if Marvel does go with option 2 there, I could see him and Zemo like teaming up and being on the same side of the cause of Zemo's cause, I guess, where he gets. Let's. I'm gonna give you a little the way I see things going, where he gets his ass kicked again by this group, the Flag Smashers, and he's like, all right, guys, I think it's time for me to get the super soldier serum. Like, all right, come on, let's do it. And the U.S. government is like, let's slow your roll. You're not really there yet. And he gets upset about it, and he turns into the villain of the story. And the U.S. government is like, no, get the fuck out of here. We don't want you as Captain America. Turn in your shield and your helmet, I guess. And he goes to Zemo, and Zemo gives him what he wants. And they're working on the same side.
So you forgot turn in your shield, your helmet, and your tight pants, because boy oh boy are those pants tight.
You're right. My apologies. And and also the drum
Pin strap. Just kidding.
Well, I was going to say the marching band outfit.
Oh man.
Oh, it does look like a marching band outfit.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Now that you say it, fuck. God. The only thing that I could say no about that whole theory is the fact that Zemo, like, so Falcon and Winter Soldier and Bucky are gonna go see him to get his opinion and how to find whoever the heck they're looking for. I think the fact that, I mean, unless you make Zemo the ultimate villain of whatever that they're building up to be, and rather than Walker and Walker be like a lackey of Zemo, I can see that. But I don't see Walker being side by side with Zemo and Walker being the main bad guy, because Zemo would be like, hey, I helped, like, I have better knowledge of everything than you do. You're just kind of like, you're player two.
Yes.
Like, no.
I agree with exactly what you just said. I think he's going to be like his top henchman, if you will.
It's going to be Robin to Batman.
Yeah.
I like Robin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Robin's good.
Yeah.
It's fine.
okay. With that being said, do we have any more theories that we want to toss out here before we end the show?
In all of the ads, Peggy's granddaughter,
Yep.
right? Her granddaughter
Oh, that's right. Sharon.
shows up all the time. And they hint that, it's a new Sharon. It's a new Agent 47, 48, something like that. She's Agent something. When are they going to bring her in? I want her in and doing some cool stuff and kick-assery, that kind of stuff. I'm just curious to see how they'll use her.
I think they'll bring her in the next episode. Since they're working by themselves, they need all the help they can get.
True. And the timeline is this. So this is post Shield, correct?
Yes.
And so I don't know, for those who have watched Agents of Shield, there's kind of like a pseudo Shield that comes up. I wonder if she partnered with them because they seemed less government led and more like, hey, we're working with duct tape and sticks here, that kind of thing. And I'm wondering if that plays into it, like post blip. Shield is like a third of its power of what it used to be, and agents are just kind of scattered all over the place trying to do the best they can. And she's one of those kind of people.
Huh. I don't know.
Just a theory.
Could be. Yeah. Frank, any more theories?
No, I haven't watched Agents of Shield or the spin-off Agent Carter. Or not spin-off, but I haven't watched either Agent Carter or Agents of Shield, so I cannot talk. I'd just be handing you shit in my hand if I talked about it. So.
Oh, you gave us gold before. Fuckface McGee.
Hey, you know what? I'll stick with gold for now.
Okay.
You know, why ruin it?
Okay, cool. With that being said, let's do some plugs. Christian, where could people find you?
Yeah, it's in one of the corners down below. I think this way.
That's right.
You can follow me at ISO Christian. I'm debuting the pink hair tomorrow on the Penultimate Conquest as well on the Attack on Titan show. because we reached affiliate on Twitch, and I dyed my hair like Yuji from Jujutsu Kaisen. So, oh, and then also my Twitch is the same at ISO Christian.
Cool.
Keep up with me.
Travail, where can people find you?
Pretty much at Trevelyan. I'm also on PSN as at Trevelyan. I play Destiny all the time.
Yes, sir.
But if you want to join up, squad up, fire team, kick some Space Wizard ass with me, it'd be dope. My takes on Twitter are lukewarm to hot from time to time. So yeah, drop in.
That's 2 of the big 3. You got aliens and wizards.
Yes, I do.
Kicking ass. Cool. Frank, where can people find you?
People can find me at Frankfurter _ on Twitter, Frankfurter on Twitch, and you can find me talking my ass off about anime on Baka and Co podcast. I would say skip the first few episodes; they're very rough, but it's a lot of fun. It's just 4 friends just who love anime, just talking about anime. Like we basically just review a season of a show each week or each 2 weeks. We've had a little bit of scheduling and conflicts this past month or so, so we've only done 1 in the past month.
Okay.
But we have a good time. It's fun.
Okay, cool. This week our content lineup is pretty secured, I think, as of right now. We have later tonight we have Tessa playing some Souls. I want to say it's Dark Souls. It could be Soulsborne. I don't know, man. Soulsborne, a Soulsborne game. Let's stick with that. I believe she's playing at 9:00, which is in 30 minutes. Tomorrow we are talking Attack on Titan, the final season, episode 16. And yeah, that's there's nothing to say about that episode. Just be prepared.
Nothing at all.
Is it season 1 or season 4?
No, season 4. Season 4.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
still need to watch those last 2, and
Yeah.
and then I'll come back to you guys and
Yeah.
just talk to you.
Yeah. Just buckle up. That's all I gotta say. And I believe we are also doing something else. I might be doing some more streaming this week. Probably some Fallout. No, not Fallout. Probably some
saying.
Warzone.
The new Among Us map comes out
That's
this week,
right.
so-
Wednesday. You're right. We're doing some Among Us this weekend. Well, this week. So strap in. It's gonna be a fun ride.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. You guys are welcome to join if you got. I'll send you some details later. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. We appreciate it. Like I've said before, you're welcome anytime. Yeah, thank you guys. Have a good one.
Thank you for having us. I
thank
really
you for having
thoroughly
me on.
enjoyed this. It's fun talking about this type of like I don't really normally talk about this with because like I don't really get super into the weeds in Marvel stuff, but like this has been a lot of fun, and I definitely kind of want to do it again, like with just you guys in general and other people in general. So yeah, you'll hear back from me.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Right.
Cool. Travail, you had something to say before we close out the show?
Oh no, just thank you for having me on. I'm willing to come back at any time. Just dad working in my basement, making Gunpla, playing
Okay.
Destiny,
Okay.
that kind of stuff, drinking beer.
Cool.
Amazing.
Cool. Looking forward to it. I can get with you guys later on the week, I guess, and let you know what we're doing for the rest of the year, since we're getting a bunch of Marvel content this year. All right, guys. Have a wonderful night. See ya.
Excelsior.